Alright, welcome back to another video. In this video, I basically want to actually show you how to actually use the math class in Java. So the math class in Java is basically a class that's built into Java that allows you to basically use the methods that are available. So for example, we can see we have E. What is this? So how it works is it tells you the method and then it tells you how it can be used and it gives you a description of what the method does. It says the double value that is closer than any other to E, the base of natural logarithms. So what does that mean? If you guys took math, you guys already know that this is actually the base of ln, or this is basically E. So it's like E to some power, so it's like E to 30, so Euler's number. There's also pi, which we all know really well, which is a double value that says, remember that double value I told you, 3.1419? It's basically that really long constant that you can use here. And it tells you like some of these like absolute value says returns the absolute value of a double. See how it takes in a parameter, it takes in a parameter double, it takes in some of these takes in int, so you can find the absolute value of an int. You could find the absolute value of a number. There's also a tangent, so it tells you like arctangent, like tangent inverse. There's also cosine, exponentials, if you guys are good with trigonometry. There's also hyperbolic, there's radians, degrees, all sorts of things that are available in math. There's also square root, which is here. So let's go back to the program that we were writing. And this is where we left off last time. Let's say I want to find out what the square root of 4 is. Now, and I want to actually print it out. What I can do is I can say system.println 2, because that's the square root of, because that's the square root of 4. But let's say I wanted the square root of 15. What is the square root of 15? Let's go ahead and actually use a calculator for that. Square root of 15. 3.189. I can print that out. Um, as you can see, like this is very inefficient. Like I don't want to actually do that. So that's where the math class comes into play. And so the math class has a method called square root, which if I can find it, which is right here, it says returns the correctly rounded positive square root of a double's value. And here it tells us what it takes in. It has to take in a double. So if I want to pass in an int, remember how if I pass in an int to a double, it turns into a double? I could actually pass in an int to a square root. So I could actually say what is and how to actually use it is I actually have to call the class that I am using. In this case, I'm calling the math class. So I say math dot, and again, like see the syntax right here. We are actually referencing an object. Again, we'll definitely talk about objects, but see how this is a new syntax. Math dot. Now the dot says which method are you calling from the math class? In this case, I'm calling the square root method. And then I just pass in the number that I want to find the square root of. Now if I run this, it prints out 2.0. Again, it takes in a double, but we can pass in an int. Remember that one video where I talked about a double can be used as an int. So for example, you say double I equals 4, and it just puts a 0.0 at the end. Um, that's just that. And it tells you the methods. Again, these are methods that are available in the class. And then see how some of these takes in parameters, which we talked about. See how the idea of parameter, everybody's coming into play. We are very happy. Look at this. Parameters are coming into play here. Some of these takes in parameters, like there's multiple methods right here. See, there's multiple methods in the class that take in multiple parameters. So some of these takes in different parameters. And if I actually want to use that method, remember we talked about how to do that. You need to actually define the parameter values for that method. And if you actually want to use it, so for example, I could find the minimum value of ints. I could find the minimum value of two double numbers. Remember, these have to be doubles. See how the whole idea of parameters and everything is starting to come into play here and methods, which we could do something really fascinating. There's also the idea of sine. Remember how let's go to a calculator. Let's say I want to find sine of 56. What is sine of 56? It's negative 0.52155. We can actually do that in code. So we could do the same thing. So how to actually call that method is there's a method called sine. If you guys are math heavy and you guys are math majors and you guys love math, and this was really going to be easy. Math dot sine of 56. Remember how this takes in it takes in a double, we could pass in an int. So I can say, what is math dot sine of 56? Meaning, what is sine of 56? And see how it prints out negative 0.5215, which is the number that we had here. That's exactly the number that we had here. So basically, the idea is we could actually use any method right here. If you're actually learning this for the first time, you might actually want to refer to the Java documentation and actually read through the methods that you are using and actually see what these methods are and see what some of these takes in parameters. There's also different method signatures, like for example here the next down, for example here, it has two different types of methods. It has one that takes in a double and it has one that takes in a float. And that's just basically the idea of the math class, which is really fascinating. You could actually do math in Java if you want. Again, because we are not a math class, we're not going to talk about math too advanced here. I just wanted to show you that it's possible in Java. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a little introduction to math. I hope that you saw something fascinating that we could do with this. Parameters came into play here. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll definitely see you guys in future videos. If you like videos like this, like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you very much.